The Vox Markets Podcast with Justin Waite. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
And joining me on the podcast right now is James Campbell, Managing Director of Botswana Diamonds. BOD is the ticker there. James, thanks for joining me again.
Thank you very much indeed for having me, Justin.
Now, while you're on to talk about a bit of news you've released today about Free State Kimberlite Exploration Project update, and we'll get into that in a bit. Before we do, James, there are people listening not familiar with the company or brand new to the podcast. So can you summarise Botswana Diamonds? What's it all about, please?
Botswana Diamonds, Justin, is a diamond exploration and development company listed on the Botswana Stock Exchange and the London AIM market, focusing very firmly on Southern Africa. We have projects in Botswana, which includes a joint venture with Alrosa and another one with Bamamgwato Concessions Limited. We have a very strong earning arrangement in South Africa with a company called Vatomi Mining Pty Limited. And we'll talk about the update there on one of their projects being the Free State project. And then we have signed a memorandum of understanding with Vast Resources in Zimbabwe to look at developing diamond resources in Zimbabwe.
Absolutely. Excellent stuff. Okay, so today's news is like I said, an update on the Free State Kimberlite Exploration Project. So what's going on here, James? Take us through it.
This is a fascinating story, Justin, and it actually starts in the archives of Kimberley and Bloemfontein, two large cities in the central part of South Africa. Mm-hmm. And there our team found in those archives that there were a number of smaller diamond operations which existed around the early 1880s, of which we've been able to find production information, which leads us to probable values in today's numbers of $300 per carat. But seemingly, these operations have long been forgotten in the kind of mists of time. And during the course of last year and this year, we've steadily been applying modern technology to the assessment of these kimberlites. The first one was to do what we called whole rock geochemistry, and this basically confirmed these as being kimberlites and importantly group 1 kimberlites, which is important as the nearby Jaggersfontein, Koffiefontein and Kimberley mines are all group 1 kimberlites. We then followed this up with detailed ground geophysics using a number of different techniques such as magnetic, electromagnetic and gravity, and determine their size. And the final piece of work, which we announced fairly recently, was to undertake mineral chemistry analysis. This might sound very technical, but what is important to the investor on this is that mineral chemistry gives a very strong indicator in terms of the potential to host diamonds. And indeed, these kimberlites did have very good mineral chemistry and a strong potential to host diamonds. And once you put the history together, along with all the modern science which we've done over the last period of time, this justifies going to the next step of drilling.
I see. Marvellous stuff. And in time frame wise, when would that be?
We plan to do our first phase of drilling during the course of H2 2018, and this will be chiefly delineation drilling to look at the kimberlite boundaries and internal geology. And all being well, if that kind of further kicks, we'll go down to the next stage of micro diamond drilling, which we'll plan for early next year.
And take us through at the moment, James, the state of the diamond market. What's it looking like?
The diamond market at the moment has been the strongest recovering market since the global financial crisis and has been the least volatile. And I think those two facts are not often known amongst potential investors when they look at comparing diamonds with coal and gold and other commodities. And I'm not saying diamond is a commodity at all. There has been obviously some concern in the diamond industry with De Beers' Lightbox initiative, which is looking at putting synthetic diamonds into the jewelry shops as synthetic diamonds, of course. But in my view, this has just expanded the industry to new potential consumers. And with the gradual drop-off in natural diamond supply, because people are not investing in diamond exploration, and I can't understand why, and with the growth of the diamond market, particularly in the Far East. This leads to a strong long-term view on natural diamond pricing.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is that light box thing you were talking about there? Synthetic diamonds. What's the deal there?
This is De Beers' initiative in the industrial diamond space. Mm-hmm. So if you Google Lightbox, you'll jump straight onto their webpage, and this will show how to purchase and acquire some quite fancy coloured synthetic diamonds. Mm-hmm. But obviously, when you go into a jewellery shop, there will be a clear distinction between a synthetic and a natural diamond. And I'm sure if you're looking to celebrate an engagement or a wedding or a significant event in your life, you would be probably more looking towards buying a natural diamond. Yeah. Whereas if you're looking for maybe a piece of funky jewellery, then maybe a synthetic would be perhaps a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. Marvellous stuff. Well, James, one final thing. You know the score here. Someone's listening to this, likes the sound of what you're doing, but are not yet following the story. Give them 3 quick reasons why they should hit that follow button on your page and add you to their watch list, please.
Absolutely, Justin. The first one is diamonds are the strongest recovering commodity since the global financial crisis, the least volatile, and have a strong growth trajectory. Secondly, Southern Africa, being Zimbabwe, Botswana, and South Africa, is the most prolific diamond producing area in the world. And thirdly, which is almost the corollary of this, it has been underexplored using modern technology, and Botswana Diamonds is not only the most active explorer in the region, but has got a great track record in discovering and commercializing diamond projects.
Marvellous stuff. James, good to chat to you. Hopefully we'll be chatting again in the not-too-distant future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Justin.
The Vox Markets Podcast with Justin Waite. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.